Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Jacksonville Buzz. I am Adrienne Houghton. Now joining me today is Melinda B Powers, and she has her own business, Intentional Professionals, and we're going to find out all about it. Welcome, Melinda.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me, what exactly is Intentional Professionals?
Yes, Intentional Professionals is a business consultancy where we help women scale, sell, and franchise their businesses.
So it could be any business whatsoever?
Correct.
And how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing business consulting since 2019, and I've infused a lot of my previous experience as an attorney into that, which I did for about 13 years prior.
I mean, that's a huge change. Was it because you were finding that you liked the business side of it better than being an attorney?
Yeah, I would say yes. Unfortunately, the law is a little restrictive in how you can market and do business, and I preferred more of the business side only, so that was a big influence as to why I switched.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a huge step to take from working with other people and then going out on your own as an entrepreneur. What made you or inspired you to be that person on your own, to go and do it? Because there's nobody there to say, hey, let's do this.
Right. Well, I will say I did have an influence in the very beginning when I started out in 2013 with desserts. I read the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, and it was like my manifesto, and it lit a fire in me, and it hasn't gone out. So that just continues to come back around, because I know I'm creative and I know I have what it takes and I'm very determined. So it just, every few years, it just cycles into something new and
yes.
It evolves.
So talk to me about a typical day for Melinda.
A typical day? I don't know if there is a typical day.
Ah, interesting.
And that's a nice feature. But a lot of times I am meeting with clients, or I am on the computer doing content, or I am writing up quotes and invoices. I'm doing I'm wearing all the hats. But I also do a lot of volunteering in my spare time, and that takes up some of my time as well. But I like to get out into the community as well, because I am very community oriented and I do love Jacksonville.
How did you come up with Intentional Professionals?
Well, I always try to be intentional in anything I do, so that word just had to be in there for me, and I want to help other business owners to be more intentional. Sometimes we're just kind of swept by the waves, and you're just chasing all the opportunities, and if you don't say no more than you say yes, you're going to end up somewhere that you don't want to be.
That's all too true. Now, you mentioned work in the community. What do you actually do
in the community? So I serve on a few nonprofit boards, and I just got appointed by Mayor Deegan to a city board, the Downtown Investment Authority, or the DIA. So I will be helping influence some very important changes in our downtown.
I mean, there's a huge amount of change that's taking place in Jacksonville, especially over the last, I think, 5 or 10 years. Mm-hmm. I came here back in 2004 when it was still fairly sleepy.
Sure.
And we're becoming more culturally aware, I think, and there's much more happening for the greater Jacksonville area.
Absolutely.
What do you think has inspired the influx of people to Jacksonville?
I know, just going from what brought me here back in 2010, it was the fact that it wasn't Miami or Orlando or Tampa.
But still warm.
Yes, because I'm originally from Michigan, so.
Oh, wow.
But I think the cost of living is very reasonable. There's a lot of nature here. You're outdoorsy. And there's a lot of growth that still can take place. So I think the potential also is a big draw.
Yes. And have you noticed that change with your business clients?
Not really. I think that everyone is just trying to find their way, and some people stick and stay to one thing. Some people want to do multiple things, and I just want to be there to assist them and help them reach their goals, because I know a lot of people very aspirational, and they have really great ideas that would just make this an even better city.
Yeah, that's for sure. So what do you want the audience to know about Intentional Professionals, or yourself?
Sure. I want the audience to know that I'm very passionate about what I do, and that, well, more than anything, the statistics tell us. So women-owned businesses, the reason why I'm focusing on them is because only about 10% of women-owned businesses reach the six-figure mark, which sounds kind of unreal because of everything that we see in relation to women-owned businesses. And then even a starker number is that only about 2% reach the seven-figure mark. So that's telling us that even though we may have more women business owners that are, putting up shop every day, they're not necessarily making all the money. They're probably replacing their salaries from the job that they left. And that's okay, that's good, but it's not sufficient if you really want to make change and have a real impact, and if you want to leave, wealth for your family, because the statistics also tell us that about 30% of second-generation business owners survive, so that's 70% that fail. So if you're leaving it to pass on, it may not make it past that one generation.
Right. Well, thank you for coming in and explaining a little bit about what you do and Intentional Professionals.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
And if you'd like to know any more information about Intentional Professionals, you can find it on thejacksonvillebuzz.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Adrienne Houghton.